Well, welcome crafters. Thanks for joining me at Stamping Tips with Nancy. Today I'm going to show you how to make this little scrapbook envelope. And it's just really easy to make. Depending on the colors that you choose will reflect the theme or mood that you want to convey. So very, very easy to make. Let's go ahead and get started. I chose to use the Stampin' Up! 12 by 12 cardstock. This is the in color, and this is the raspberry piece of cardstock. And the other materials that you're going to need are some kind of designer paper. And right now with Stampin' Up! There's an incredibly fun and really wonderful promotion. It's the celebration that with every $50 purchase you get a free item. And this is one of those free items. It's the Welcome Neighbor Designer Series paper pad. So I'm going to be using that. And then I'm also going to be needing a piece of 22-inch ribbon. This is chocolate chip satin ribbon. And then you're going to need some sticky strip. So what I've done before starting the video is I've taken my piece of 12 by 12 cardstock and I scored it in half at 6 inches. And then I turned it sideways and I scored it at 3 inches, 6 inches, and 9 inches. Then I took my bone folder and really nicely scored up those lines that I just created, and I folded my pockets so that it would be valley, peak, whoops, peak, valley, peak, valley. So in this M kind of shape, right? Then what I've done is, this is going to be my front. You want the top of your cardstock to be the top of your project because that's where you'll slide the little sleeves in to make your scrapbook envelope project that we're working around right now. So then this becomes the back, and you're going to adhere your sticky strip to the back, probably towards the middle. And then you're going to take the ribbon, and I like folding it in half to make sure that you've got equal amounts on both sides. And then you're going to adhere that to the back. Okay. And then the rest of the project is super easy because all you do is to lay down your designer paper. And so because each of these panels is 3 inches, you're going to cut your designer paper to 3 inches each. Just show you a couple of those of how easy this is, and then let me give you a couple tips about the envelopes that are going to slide inside. So 3 inches is the cut for each of these outside pockets here, and so I'm going to need to cut 1, 2, and I actually make those the same color. And the great thing about the designer paper pack, that's the free item from Celebration that you can check out on my website here at FancyNancyStamping.com, is that all you need to do is to cut that piece of designer series paper in half, and you have the perfect size for your front and back panels of your scrapbook envelope pouch project that we're doing. Okay, and then you're going to just adhere that to the front and then to the back, like I've done here on these. Okay, now for the inside, if you'd like to do what I've done, all I did for these inside pockets is that this first panel here, I cut it at a diagonal. And so because I haven't adhered my cardstock close yet, this is a great time to work on each of those different sections. So I'm just going to cut from this here, and I'm going to cut diagonally, and it's really up to you however much you want to cut off or cut down. But it becomes then a really just different way to display that particular envelope sleeve there. Okay, so when you want to cut diagonally, it might just be as easy to cut with your scissors, but what you can do is you can line up your score line in the track of the cutting blade here. So I have the score line lined up inside the track, and then I'm going to just slide my blade down and cut it off. So it's that easy. Okay, and then when I do my panel for that particular slot with my designer paper, And another really great thing is that because this is the in-color cardstock, I immediately know, because Stampin' Up! Is so wonderful, that any of these papers that I'm going to use from the Welcome Neighbor Designer Series pad are going to coordinate. So I'm actually not putting too much thought into it at this point. Because I know they're all going to match just great. So again, I know it's 3 inches, so I'm going to get the most out of my paper, because these are 6 by 6 pieces of paper. Okay, so I'm going to, it just fits perfect. And then what I'm going to do then is I'm going to just fold that down based on that previous cut I made for this particular slot. And then you can use any stamps that you want, but this particular one that I used that I thought looked really, really nice with this was the brand new Vintage Vogue stamp set. And this is the first time I had ever used the clear stamps, and I love them. I couldn't believe how much I loved them. But I used this flower here. But once again, you can use any set. One of the other free items that you can get with Celebration is the complimentary stamp set to this Designer Series pack. So wouldn't that be darling? Okay. So that's what you do, and then you just adhere, and you could use your snail adhesive at this point. You don't need to keep using the sticky strip. Alright, the other one I wanted to show you was this third panel here. So the second one is just a strip of 3 by 3 if you would like to do it like I did. And the third one is just taking your 1 3/4 inch punch and punching out the Designer Series first, and then you can lay the Designer Series on top of the cardstock and then punch it out so that you've got the same notches in both the cardstock and the designer paper. Okay, so what I've done is I've taken another piece of 3 by 3 Designer Series paper and I punched out in the middle the notch. And so I slid my punch down and punched out only half of it. And then all I need to do is to adhere this to my cardstock here. Okay. And then once it's adhered, it becomes the perfect pattern to punch out the exact same notch. Okay, so let me just adhere this one too. Alright, and then for the last panel here, I just started at the score line and just with my thumb and index finger, just ripped a section off, adhere it. And then just gonna match that same tear that I just did by ripping down into the one I just made. If that makes sense. So, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. Alright, so then all I needed was that third panel. I guess it's just as easy for me to just do it right now. But I like changing the papers up and making them so they're each a little bit different. I mean, I very easily could put that one there, but I personally didn't like the same blues next to each other, and so I'm going to use the, oh, this is pumpkin pie. Hey! Yay! So cute! Alright, I just wanted to point out a couple of tricks then about the envelopes that slide into each of these pouches. Let me give you the measurements. Now, 2 3/8 by 6 for this panel and this panel, and then the inner panels here are cut at 2 7/8 by 6. Okay? And once again, I changed the colors of them so that they were different. And you can leave them blank, you can stamp on them. Once again, this is the Vintage Vogue. It's just a beautiful stamp set. And then I added some hardware, I added ribbon here, and some decorative brads, and you're good to go. I decorated the front a little bit differently than I did the back because I knew this was the front, so I added some more stamped images from the Vintage Vogue and then some paper strips that I had from that same Designer Paper Series pack, because once again I knew it would all match. Well, thanks for joining me today. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. And I'd love any comments that you could leave. That would be wonderful. And thanks so much for joining. See you again soon. Bye.